man, I should have my fucking helmet for this.
Night vision. What a fight that was. It starts simple enough. I had a rifle. A nice rifle. Okay, so this is where we wound up for night vision. It took us a long time to get here. Essentially started with the opportunity to buy a second-gen night vision monocular for a reasonable price, so I figured why not. And then I had a Tavor. Well, why not try to combine the two? We've come a long way as far as the amount of extra gear added on to make this run on this. I mean, we're looking at a whole new rail up top to give us that full-length rail from Canada Ammo. Then we've got the Picatinny to tripod thread mount, because a night vision monocular won't have a pick mount and it won't have a reticle inside. So we've got our EOTech on a YHM riser. This is just your standard base EOTech, but you know what? It works, right? We've got that level of holographic sight that keeps us on target, and then it can project something that's a low enough brightness to actually read through this, right? And then you'll notice we've changed out the light. The Scout is now on somebody else's new Tavor. This is an in-force light, which I wasn't as keen on, but it was the only thing I could find that would do an IR illumination for a reasonable price fast, right? I picked this up literally this morning, so we're going to try it out, see how it does.
What shirt did you wear when we were hiking?
This shirt.
Just that?
Yeah.
Did you have something over top of it?
No.
Oh, fuck. Do you have Under Armour on under there?
I do, yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Kill the light. Okay, I'm happy.
Okay. Let's rock.
That's pretty cool. So after a couple of hours of playing with both the night vision and the EOTech and the flashlight and the IR illuminator, sort of running them all together and trying to do different things with them, it does work, which is nice. I can definitely see some limitations. One of the things with this unit, right, is you'll notice we're running it with a holographic sight. There's no magnification. We're running it with a 1x lens on here. So really, you couldn't shoot at targets that were further than 50 or 100 yards. Not confidently, anyways. One of the things that I was surprisingly impressed with was the in-force light. Its IR output is 75 milliwatts or 25 milliwatts. And I can definitely see, when I was first looking at IR illuminators, I was looking at dedicated units that were only IR, and they were putting out at like 350 milliwatts. Really strong torch to them. One of the things that I noticed last night is even on the highest setting off this, if you got any trees that are sort of close, you start to get a lot of bounce back off of that. And 350 milliwatts, you would wash out your own night vision if you were in any kind of an enclosed space. I'm thinking those units are really built to be mounted on something that's pushing way out at several hundred yards. And that's just not the design of this. You don't get a lot of depth perception through this. You wouldn't be driving with it, anything like that. The 1x magnification is definitely better than some of the 3 and 5x magnification units I've used. There's really no way to maneuver yourself in an environment with one of those. You're stopped looking out at something. Whereas with this, you can kind of walk, although we went down a pretty steep incline here, and it was tricky. The other thing which I was extremely impressed with is the IR illuminator. It's actually just a standard strobe, but these things, I mean, with that filter on there, it's totally invisible when you throw it out into the dark. And the moment you bring up the Gen 2 tube, it's better than Black Hawk Down. It has that whole halo ring thing around it. You can identify the exact location of the unit, and you can identify it from a long ways off. Even though it's a second-gen tube, you do need to focus a fair bit. One of the big changes between Generation 3 and Generation 2 isn't so much the resolution, but just your standard depth of field. So a Gen 3, everything will be in focus, the mountains behind me perhaps. Whereas here, if I'm shifting from the 25-yard line to the 50-yard line, that's a shift in focus. It's extremely advantageous that the EOTech will stay in focus throughout that. that's it. Oh, the other thing I figured out is we're going to need to do a not night shoot, but low light shoot, just to actually get you guys some image of the whole setup running. We've got some footage from the FLIR unit, which is kind of neat. Not a whole lot of sound or definition in there, though. So we'll try to set something up where you can actually see through the camera what we're doing in the dark.